MASH was like 10 or 11, but Walking Dead is now has outlasted my favorite show, 6 Feet Under.
Oh,
that was
has
only
it?
5 seasons. Also, less than 6, Breaking Bad, Battlestar Galactica, and The Wire.
Dang.
So we're well into the life of this show. You know, it
Yeah,
almost
we
scares
are.
me, like, but the producers want us to go on for 20 years. I know.
How long are we going to be podcasting?
I mean, the thing that I've said this before, but if they go that long, then the way that it will end is if it gets so bad no one wants to watch it anymore, right? The good thing about a show like Breaking Bad is Vince Gilligan had this arc in mind
Yes.
and ended on top. Can The
Yes.
Walking Dead end on top?
Well, do you still watch The Simpsons? And it's in practically in year 30. We watched it the other night. I was thinking it held up pretty okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
you know, when I do catch an episode, which is like once every couple of years, I think, oh, it's not as bad as everyone says. It's still pretty funny. Because people say it's awful.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't hear that.
But you stopped watching it. It's just
I did.
too much
Of course
the same
I did.
thing, right?
Well, there's only
That's all.
so much
Time.
television. There's so many hours in a day.
Yeah, there's too much good TV. Well, here's a few more. 6 seasons, Lost and The Sopranos. So that's this year for them. Those shows both, I think, went out on top. So did all the 5 season shows I mentioned. 7, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That ended strong, right?
So good.
Mad Men ended strong. Star Trek Next Generation.
Yep.
Game of Thrones is supposed to go 7, although who knows. True Blood, that could have ended 1 year earlier.
Yeah, probably could have. And jumped the shark a little bit.
8, Dexter is a big one. That should have ended after probably season 2 or 3, I think.
I can't wait to watch the first 2 seasons then.
It's great. He's awesome. Same guy from 6 Feet Under, by the way. 9, Seinfeld. That could have ended a year earlier.
Probably, yeah.
The Office could have ended a couple of years earlier when Steve Carell left. Friends lasted 10. I think that was still pretty good, but wavering. I don't know.
Yeah, they were sort of getting into more of like a parody of themselves towards the end.
It's a good show. I from what I understand, the kids today love that show. That Taylor Swift sang "Smelly Cat" with Lisa Kudrow at something.
I would like to have seen that, actually.
Me too. And you mentioned Simpsons. That's 27 and counting.
27, is that what they're at?
And 35 and counting. Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Have you been watching the new?
I've watched the first 2 and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I watched the
I
first
like
3,
this guy with his big bushy eyebrows.
I do too. He's growing on me.
Yeah.
Much like his eyebrows.
Good. Are growing on him. All right. So anyways. Oh, and then some shows that ended way too soon. Firefly, of course.
Yes.
Freaks and Geeks, one of my favorites.
Never saw it.
1 season. Excellent.
Judd Apatow,
you should
right?
watch it. The network was like, why can't these kids ever win? And Judd's like, that's not the kids we're talking about. We're talking about the real kids. But it's good. And then Arrested Development.
Which should have gone on.
And I'm going to tease you guys a little bit more before we get into the episode, because I have a couple of announcements I'm really proud of first, and then I promise we'll get into it. But before we do, 2 new podcasts in our Podcastica network. The first is Podcastica Junkies with Harry Duran. This is the guy that interviewed me a couple of weeks ago now. Right away I was like, man, this guy's great. He's doing something that I wanted to do, but just never found the time for, which is do a podcast where you get to interview other podcasters.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this is, Podcast Junkies, because he and I are both
Starley Kine.
Yeah, I mean, I want him to get up to those guys like Mark Maron and
you listen to the Mystery Show,
Ira
right?
Glass and all that.
Mystery Show's awesome.
No, is that Starley Kine?
Oh, that's Starley Kine's Mystery Show. Everybody download that podcast.
He did interview Mark Maron's producer after they did that whole Obama thing. And it was great. And he has this really natural, fun, interesting style. He's very in the moment. He doesn't stick to his script. And he goes really in depth with people. Harry, I'm talking about now, on Podcast Junkies. He interviews all types, artists, entrepreneurs, political podcasters, fanboys like you and me. In fact, I thought, I should have told him, well, you're a fangirl, that you and I should have gone on there together and been interviewed by him. I wish I would have suggested that, because it would have been fun.
Yeah.
But he is going to talk to some of the other podcasters in the network now. whoever wants to, I think. So, because Mr. Blog is, in his own words, a podcast whore, he said he'll do any podcast that wants to interview him.
Ooh, that sounds slutty.
So he'll be on there
very,
for sure.
Very sexy there, Eric.
That's him.
I like it.
And if we want to interview him, he'll come on, I'm sure.
Beautiful, we should.
But anyways, I'm excited about that. Check it out at podcastica.com. The second one I'm excited about is one I'm doing, which makes me less excited because it's more work. But... Am I talking that up well? No,
wow.
No, I'm just kidding. But it's Evil Dead Cast. Yay! With me.
Can I be the first subscriber to that?
Yeah. Well, second, because I already subscribed.
Because you already subscribed.
It's me and my friend Richard, who I've known since 7th grade, way back in the mid 80s. And we've loved Ash and Evil Dead ever since it came out in 87. We watched it at my friend Tim's house. And he dressed up like Ash for Halloween. I mean, we just love Evil Dead. And we're so excited because the new show, Ash vs. Evil Dead, which starts on Halloween, is directed and co-written by Sam Raimi. They're making this because people won't leave them alone about doing a sequel. And they're like, fine. So they're trying to make it just, with the same spirit as the movies, but adding to it.
And you've been seeing the ads for it?
I've seen like a 3-minute trailer where he has the girdle.
They had last night on The Walking Dead, they had an advertisement for it, and it was fabulous.
Really?
Oh.
It's a new one?
Yeah, well, I think it isn't. It was new to me anyway. He's diving across the room, and his chainsaw hand is coming at him. And
he meets it in midair and slices up some deadites. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Grandma.
They showed the first episode this weekend at New York Comic Con, and I was so jealous. And of course, that crowd would love it.
Yeah,
but
I'm jealous too.
They loved it, and the reviews that have been coming out. I've been trying not to read too much because I don't want spoilers, but it's good vibes so far. So I'm stoked. So there's one episode up right now, and we covered the Evil Dead, the first movie. Then we'll cover Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness in the next couple episodes before the premiere in October, and then we'll just do that.
Are you covering the Evil Dead reboot?
Nah, we talked about it, and since it's so different in style, I liked that movie, but we might talk about it, but we probably won't cover it.
I gave it a big fat
we have so much time. Yeah, I figured something out about you, so I was like,
did you?
I think so. You tell me if you're right. But I was thinking, man, I got to get Karen to watch American Horror Story second season because I loved it. But then I thought, wait a minute, Karen likes either something that's funny like Evil Dead or with heart like Walking Dead. If it's just vicious and messed up, then you might not like it so much.
If it's vicious and messed up, but clever.
It's clever.
Well, I've got to tell you,
yeah.
David and I watched American Horror Story Hotel last night.
Oh my God.
Yesterday afternoon.
So I'm getting to the point where I'm offended by this show. Like there's demons, apologies to any young people out there, but ass raping poor guys with like drill bits strapped used as a strap on.
That was hard to watch. Yes.
And that was like the least offensive
thing. Yes, exactly.
It's getting to be almost too much for me.
But David and I watched it and we liked it. We're going to keep going with it. So there you go.
I'm telling you, if season 2, like I was heartbroken that you guys finally took me up on that, but you watched season 1. I'm like, no, season 2. Asylum is completely different.
Okay, Asylum it is.
Yeah, it's so good.
Maybe that's what we have to watch.
Yeah. Anyway, so Evil Dead Cast, that's the first episode out. You can check out these and our other shows on our network at podcastica.com. Brittany and Amanda are covering Once Upon a Time now that it's in season. Rem, Jonathan, and Ian are cranking them out. They did Cube, which I love. I haven't listened to that one yet, but I want to hear what they think. And then they did Phantom Menace, which luckily they all realize is a shitty movie. So then I would not want them in my network. No, I'm just kidding.
That's it. You're banished.
And then they are doing The Martian this week, which I saw and loved.
Did you?
Matt Damon, yeah.
God, I can't wait. I'm trying to read the book first, and it's I probably should just see the movie. And then read the book.
Just see the movie.
It won't be in the movie theaters forever.
Well, you can always watch it on video, but don't read books. Jeez. And now sponsored by Audible. And then finally we have, of course, Grace and Mr. Blog, who cover amazing, great indie comics each week, including The Walking Dead.
Beautiful. That's a fine looking network you got going there.
It's going pretty good. All right, let's move on to the main event.
Attention shoppers. Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Excuse me.
Okay. It's Deadcast Top 5 this week. It's Top 5 highlights for Season 6, Episode 1, First Time Again. Did it feel like the first time again for you?
Felt like not the first time. It kind of felt like the sixth time, actually. But the sixth time is good.
Yeah.
Because now we're getting good at it.
Yeah, the sixth time
and we
really have
got
it down.
Past the awkwardness.
See, if they do get to 20, we'll be like, oh, maybe we should go to a different show.
Get a little freshie on.
This is getting old.
No, we're right in that sweet spot. So episode 1, I loved it. I gave it 4.85 out of 5 brains.
Nice. That's
it's pretty high.
High score.
Yep. It was great to see these characters again. I loved the storytelling. I thought it was very complex, and I thought it was a big scope to the story. I love the stylistic tool of toggling back and forth between black and white and
Pulp Fiction style.
Color. Yeah. And the fact that they went forward and backwards with the story arc. And I thought it was beautifully acted, scripted, filmed, the whole bit. And I loved it.
Why didn't you give it a 5?
Because I want to hold out because that's
Melissa gave one episode of Fear the Walking Dead a 5.
She
and
did.
I was like, somebody give an episode a 5. That's not supposed to happen yet. We haven't achieved the perfect Walking Dead show.
Did the computer melt? Did your head explode?
Well, should I say something? I'm like, oh, I guess I just won't say anything.
Did you mean 5 or did you mean 4.5?
Right?
Well, the world did not stop spinning. We're still here.
No, I guess we're all right.
Life continues apace.
Well, I thought it was a very good episode with problems. I thought the setup with the zombies, how they got there, and the plan to lead them out was kind of flimsy or problematic. And the back and forth with the black and white felt like they were trying to solve a problem to me. It didn't feel like they were doing it out of artistic like creativity. And then what I've heard since kind of goes along with that, but we'll get into it. So, even so with that those problems aren't horrible. They're fine. And the great stuff was really great. The character stuff was awesome. There were some amazing zombie scenes, like nothing we've ever seen before. So I give it a 4.2, which is still, decent.
Still, I'd say a solid B+.
Yeah, that would be an 8.4 if we were doing it out of 10, which is an 84%.
I would be happy to get that on a calculus exam.
Not too bad. Of all the premieres, let's see. Season 1 was amazing. Season 2...
Season 5 is the best.
Was okay. I guess Season 5, it was totally amazing. Season 3 was one of my favorite episodes ever. So I think I liked it 4th best out of the... Or 5th best.
In the Pantheon?
I missed one in there somewhere. Anyway, who cares? Okay, let's get into the top 5. You go first.
I'm ready to grab the bull by the nutsack. Okay. My number 5 is I have to kind of disagree because I love the style of the episode. Specifically, I love the use of black and white. And I love the toggling back and forth in the timeline. And did you listen to The Talking Dead afterwards?
Maybe black and white symbolizes the black and white morality of this show.
That's funny you should say that because I actually kind of dipped into that. And I sort of thought that maybe I was overthinking it.
Interesting.
But I thought
that would make me like it more if it had some other significance other than people are going to get confused. We better figure out a way to let them know where the flashbacks are.
I think that's kind of why they did it actually. Too. But, the past is done. It's black and white. Well, shades of gray in there, so to speak. But basically, the past is done. Now, in the present, it's in vivid color. And maybe the present is sort of colored by our own perspectives. Maybe. But again, I may be reaching. See, anyway, I liked it.
Well, I read that they originally were going to make the past desaturated and the present oversaturated.
That's what Greg Nicotero was saying on Talking Dead.
The oversaturation made the world look too vivid, and it felt like Wizard of Oz, and the zombies didn't even seem like they were dead anymore. The zombies are all like, I feel better.
Kind of hungry, but for a donut.
Yeah. So, I mean, my number 5 is black and white too. And so basically the black and white, it was pretty, once you figure it all out, it's straightforward.
Sure.
The black and white sequence shows the time right after Rick shot Pete.
Right.
All the way up to when the zombies push the truck off the ledge.
Right.
The color is everything from there to the end.
Right.
But they go back and forth. And I was trying to figure out why they did that. And I think I nailed it because I read after I figured this out in interviews. But, this part I didn't read. But I think they wanted to open with them looking on the zombie horde because that was so amazing.
Right.
Right? Well, this is going to be our opening shot for the season just to set people up. It's like shooting a little girl on the head. Bah. We're going to show 30,000 zombies. And so then they're like, but we also want to go back and show how we got up to that point.
Right.
And then show the plan after.
Right.
And so that's one reason why it was structured the way it was.
Yes.
But the reason why they wanted to go back and forth, I figured, is because all the stuff in the black and white part was quiet moments. There was tender moments. There was a lot of talking. And then all the stuff after that was a stark contrast. It was all heavy action.
Yeah.
And they wanted to pace it more so that you could go back and forth between the quiet moments and the action. I mean, there are a lot of Walking Dead episodes that start off with quiet, and then big stuff at the end.
Right.
But I guess I can understand not wanting to do another one of those.
Yeah. And this hasn't been done before, not like this. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was really fun to watch. I like black and white personally. By the way, you've seen a lot of black and white movies, right? You're a movie guy. So you've seen like Casablanca, and then there have been some modern black and white movies like Pleasantville. I love how they use black and white and color in Pleasantville.
That I loved. Yeah. That was so artfully done, that made sense to the core of the movie. So
did you ever see Wings of Desire?
Yeah.
Wim Wenders, again, black and white.
I didn't get that movie.
Oh, I loved it because part of it was because
Wizard of Oz did it well.
Yep. Wizard of Oz did it best, probably. But I loved how it looked. It felt very film noirish, and I thought it fit the flashback part. It fit the quiet. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess. To me, it was distracting.
Was it?
And it felt like a gimmick. And I'm watching it going, I'm focused on that this is black and white, and I wish I wasn't.
I just thought it was so
But you know
beautiful.
What? Reading people's reactions to it, I think it's like 60-40 for against.
Oh, no kidding.
So there's plenty of people who feel the same way that I do, that it was distracting, but there's a lot of people who loved it too.
Well, I want to come up and give Greg Nicotero a big fat smack on the cheek for that, because man, I really loved it.
I mean, it didn't surprise me that how they got to it, because it didn't add anything. If there was a strong thematic component to it, then I would think, oh, that's brilliant. But as it is, it's like they needed a way to mark these scenes so we wouldn't get confused, and this is how they did it. And so it just felt, I don't know. Yeah,
I hear what you're saying. By the way, did you notice the moment when it went to black and white?
When he shot Pete.
Yeah.
That was cool. And the color kind of faded.
Yeah.
Faded off.
I really like that.
Yeah.
And then
they should have had, like, whenever Rick gets mad, he starts to turn green like the Hulk.
Rick mad.
We don't like him.
That sounds like a great idea. I'm sure they'll do that.
That idea I had a while back about them showing one of the actors in the first scene as a zombie.
Yeah.
And then you have to go back and lead up to that point. I still want them to do that. I think they still could, even though they did this episode.
They could definitely do that.
Yeah, because they've jumped back before. I think the Randall in the trunk, that was the first scene, and then you went back to see how Randall got in the trunk.
Right. Yeah. Randall in the trunk.
Okay, number 4.
Okay, number 4. It was the introduction. We kind of touched on this, how they go to black and white after Rick shoots Pete, and then they move on to the quarry, and it pans up and what? It's crazy. Yeah. And then from that point on, it's flash forward, flash back. We don't know what the plan is. We know that there's a plan. We know there's a plan from the introduction.
Yeah, and I think it took me longer. Well, it took me a while first watch through to figure out what the hell was happening.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. I'm like, God, this is confusing. But then second watch through, you can kind of tell early on what the plan is. If you already know,
sure,
like,
he
you
talks
go
about
here.
it.
Yeah, when you can understand what he's saying a little better. You know?
Sure. And then he also says, at one point he says something to Daryl like, we're not going to let them, we're not going to let them stay there much longer. We're going to break them free or something like that. And I was like, what is he talking about? Is somebody being held captive again that I don't know about? But he's talking about releasing the zombies.
Okay, I guess so. I mean, the plan, well, I have a whole thing about the plan, but it felt like this episode just felt a bit labored to me. Like this plan was so, you get little bits and pieces of it through the whole episode, and to really appreciate it, you need to watch it twice,
which I did.
Yeah, and I always do. But it felt more like, well, if I want to understand this, I have to watch this versus, oh, you get so much more out of it when you watch it twice.
Really? You know what?
I
felt very, I mean, like you, I felt off balance. But
yeah, I guess so.
Because
maybe you don't really need to know, huh?
I wasn't in on the plans.
Yeah.
And
you kind of just get little bits and pieces. And
I read that
all
somebody...
you need to know is they have a plan.
Right. Which one reviewer has commented that it's probably how the Alexandrians feel. Like,
yeah,
I guess
that makes sense.
There's a plan.
Yeah, can we hear this again? That's what Carter said.
Okay, wait, no, say this again. I want to know
the whole plan, which is totally reasonable.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you know what? That's the best idea I've heard in a long time.
They're like, you need to watch the episode twice, Carter.
And by the way, did anyone else think that that's where the Fear the Walking Dead's budget went and all their zombies went?
They're like, what? They're like, you're going to have to skip 9 days, guys, because we need to show 30,000 zombies in a quarry.
Can we talk about the plan, by the way, since we're already started talking about the plan? The plan is, I have a quibble with how they let them out of the quarry. I feel like from the very start, I was thinking, that seems like that's a plan that could go wrong. Yeah. That seems like, have you guys really thought this through? What I was thinking that they would do that would be, I think, a better idea is to, I don't know, set it on fire somehow. They've got an abundance of timber. Couldn't they sort of, get some flaming logs?
I was thinking
and
the
throw
same
them in
thing. Like maybe if the way they do controlled fires is they have a big strip that they clear out in a circle around the area or something. Right. And maybe they could have done that and burned it. And then they could have built some walls because it's only enterable in two areas where the two sets of rigs were. So they could put some walls there and then throw in another dozen zombies and let them attract zombies over the next 6 months to a year and just do it all over again, right? Keep burning them every year or so. Right. Just be the next zombie crop.
It'd be like the Roach Motel, except it's a zombie motel.
Yeah, I thought so too. Department of Suspension Disbelief.
Clearly. And, they also, not to belabor the point, but they also know the bad guys are outside the gates. They know that these guys are around there. So sending out flares and firing guns and drawing attention to what they're doing, probably not the best and most subtle way to lead 20,000 away.
Yeah, we need a new department of stupid shit that's okay because it's a horror movie and we want to see people suffer.
So it's not really suspension of disbelief. Yeah, I get that.
It's like we'll let that idiotic decision go because we need zombies to be eating some people here.
Yeah,
if you're too smart, then the show will be boring. Department.
That name just rolls right off the tongue. Listeners, if you can think of a better name for that department. Okay, what's your number 4?
Let's see. It is the plan, the problem, the plan, but let's go over just a little bit of what the plan was. So somehow the zombies got drawn into the quarry, and that's why the Alexandrians have been safe. Heath said he went out there and saw it one time, and there were just a dozen, and the people who put them there had died, he thought, and he didn't want to go back that way because there were no towns worth scavenging that way, which Department of Suspension Disbelief, but
again.
Okay. And then the people somehow, before they died, I guess, trapped them there with the semis covering the 2 exits. So one of the semis is close to falling off the edge, Rick sees, and with the next rain, it's going to fall off, which would open up the east exit and lead a path that leads directly towards Alexandria. So, and it was interesting that Rick and Morgan found them because Deanna wanted them to bury Pete, quote, west down Brenton Road a few miles just past the bridge. We don't go out that way. So that was the only reason he was out there.
Right. So that was why he had to pull the dickish move of burying Pete outside of Alexandria, even though his poor children would probably like to have him there.
Who cares about the kids? But it did seem kind of crazy that neither Heath or Aaron or Aiden, all the people who go outside, they're just like, no, we don't go up there anymore.
Yeah.
And not even, they don't get close enough to hear the roar of the zombies. And yet all the zombies in the surrounding area seem to hear it.
They have
go
dog
there.
ears.
Yeah, they can hear their own or something. So another Department of Suspension Disbelief. Also, wouldn't they have to fall off the cliff to get in? I don't know that for sure. But if you can't get in through the semis, you need to fall off a cliff, and yet you don't shatter your zombie legs.
They can walk on shattered legs, Jason.
So. Okay.
Yeah, we saw them fall off the cliff, didn't we?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
So anyway, it's a little suspect, but I can see why they'd want to try to explain why these Alexandrians have been safe and therefore weak this whole time. So it's a valiant, noble cause, I guess.
It seems to me that the fence could have explained why they've been safe, but okay.
Well, and also why are Aiden and Nicholas so bad at dealing with the zombies? Well, they've only had to deal with a couple. Then again, Heath seems to be pretty competent, and he's another one of their group.
Yeah.
He goes off on longer missions for some reason.
Although he got into a pickle at the tractor.
Didn't he do all right?
Office. He did okay, but he was at one point he got overrun by a zombie.
True. Yeah.
Came out. I'm putting my hands out towards Jason's
now
neck.
You're choking me. Now she's biting my head. No, like this.
We're keeping it real in this podcast.
And then the plan is for Daryl to lead them out.
Yeah.
And then Sasha and Abraham to join him and lead him away. They've put up walls and cars and things to block the path that would lead them to Alexandria, to
make sure they actually make the turn in the road.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, they follow sound and they follow sound and visual things. So it seems like they wouldn't have had to put up the fence so much as just carefully lead them around the turn. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just know that they can't. Well, they wanted to cover all the bases just in case.
Right. You know? Okay.
But yeah, I think zombies would sort of wander off, especially the ones in the back.
Well,
there's so many.
And they're stupid.
They're like, Daryl, I want to eat Daryl. All those zombies.
And they also stood at the corner. They stood behind the fence and kept firing the flare gun. And I'm like, don't fire the flare gun at that point. It looked like
they might go to the source, huh? But I think the idea was that they were shooting the flares away and the zombies would follow that.
Lie.
But they were right behind that fence. And Jenny said, aren't they worried about the zombies smelling them? Well, I think maybe the thing with zombies is if you're covered in zombie guts, then they're like, ew, rotten flesh, don't eat. But if you're not, they don't necessarily smell you. They just say, I don't smell rotten flesh, I will eat.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're hidden from view, maybe they can't smell you.
Yes, and they're stupid.
That's true.
Is that it for number? Okay. Yeah, that was the plan. I mean, I have to lower my rating.
Well, the cool thing about it is they're trying to explain why the Alexandrians have been protected, and in a way that makes for some awesome, amazing visuals and action.
Agreed.
So, I'm just being super picky, but I thought it was great. The whole watching them lead them away and just seeing them down in the quarry and all that. So and the Pied Piperness of it, of Daryl on his motorcycle and Sasha and Abraham in the car going out there.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah, that was fun. Speaking of characters, my number 3 is seeing some characters that I like one more time again. It's funny. I feel like at this point they're old friends.
Yeah.
Even though...
Who may die soon.
But they're not real, so I don't really feel that bad. I may feel bad, but not that bad.
Not that bad.
Eugene is my favorite mullet-wearing buddy, and I missed him and his weird way of talking. And for the last season or two, he's provided a lot of much-needed humor to lighten up what is, let's face it, a pretty heavy show.
I agree. It's nice to have some humor in the show.
Yeah.
And it was great to see him see Tara wake up.
Yeah.
You know, it was touching. Yes. And then her to say he was creepy.
Well, at first she said, thank God nothing happened to your hair.
Yeah.
She's like, thank God nothing happened to your hair. I love her.
And then the way he was just staring at her, I totally believed that she'd be like, okay, you're creeping me out.
Okay.
But then when she said, can somebody bring Noah in here to save me? I thought that was a little forced.
Is that what she said?
Yeah. And then they're all, oh, no.
I rewound that about 5 times
to figure
out what she said. I'm like, I don't understand. It sounds like, oh? What?
Bring Noah in, and they're like, no, that's not going to happen. Sorry.
It was Noah. Well, now that makes sense. So it was fun to watch him interact with Heath. By the way, Heath, Corey Hawkins, awesome. Who played, did you see Straight Outta Compton?
No, I want to. I just haven't gotten around to it.
He plays Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to get him for Walker Stalker Con, because
he's busy.
His value's too high.
He's fast on his way to the A-list.
Right?
Oh my God.
I love seeing that. He is right out of the comics, as is Eugene. So seeing them together is a big comic book hard-on moment. And not to mention that it was just a great scene in and of itself.
That's lovely and descriptive. How fun. How perfectly wonderful.
He's got that same hair, and he just looks just like them.
Does he wear glasses in the comic?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. So I love the fact that Eugene and he, their little interaction at the beginning is so fun. And at the very end, he says, great to see someone like me finally. I fully respect the hair game.
And Heath is a little surly.
Yeah.
He didn't even honor that at all.
He just,
okay, whatever.
He just gave him gave him a side eye and kept going. Eugene. It was fabulous.
But I loved that he said, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm getting close to beating your ass.
Yeah, something like that.
Leave me out of here.
Yeah.
And Eugene's like, he seems legit. I'll let him in. It made me feel good that there's still some trust in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been very clever liar.
Right. Eugene could have, by the way, asked him easily, name the person who's in charge here.
Oh, yeah.
Deanna. Okay, come on.
But then Yeah,
seems
totally.
Like that would have been a good password. But I also like the fact that when he said anything big happened when I was gone, and he said we had a meeting last night.
This reminds me of a scene because we recorded our Evil Dead 2 podcast where the Henrietta, the demon possessed mother, is down in the cellar, and then she turns back to Mother and don't hurt me, and then she's like, I remember you were born in the winter of September 1971, and it was so strange because it was snowing at that time or something like that. And then the girl goes, that is not my mother in there. And we're like, what, did the demon just make up some facts hoping it would be right? That's so funny.
I was born in January.
Yeah,
it was sunny. That's awesome. I also loved that he miscounted people when he actually did. He said
13, 12.
Yeah, there's actually more than that. And he said, there's 12 left. And there's actually 15 people came to Alexandria.
Oh, you're saying, okay.
Yeah. And now there's one, now they're down one. So Rick, Judith, Carl, Daryl, Michonne, Carol, Tara, Glenn, Maggie, Eugene, Abraham, Rosita, Sasha, and Gabrielle. And Noah's gone. So 14.
Oh, well, he doesn't count Father Gabriel.
Because he's a douche.
And one other person, Judith, probably.
Oh, was Judith the cutest little baby?
Yeah.
Super cute. And I love that Rick shuts down Father Gabriel in the meeting. Father Gabriel's like, I want to help. And Rick is like, nope.
He goes, no. And we need anybody else? No. Anybody else? We need more people really bad. It's not you.
And I'm going to talk about other people that I like later on, but that's my number 3.
I agree. Great to see them. All right, we kind of talked about this a little bit. The most impactful thing about this episode was the just blowing up of the spectacle of it. You know,
yes.
We've never seen this many zombies in one place. People refer to zombies coming together as herds in the show, but this feels more like a horde to me. I don't know. That seems like a bigger word.
Horde. I like that.
Most ever zombies. I think there were 300 extras, and you know, in these big scenes, like when the truck fell off, which was amazing.
Yes.
Into the masses of zombies, you can see that there's some CGI going on, but I mean, I don't know, because it's a TV show. I'm like, I don't care. It's awesome.
It's fabulous. Yeah.
It makes me remember back in the first half of season 2 when we'd get like one zombie per episode. Or if we were lucky.
Right. This was about 20,000 zombies.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Back when I was a kid, we only got one zombie per episode. Liked it.
You kids don't know how lucky you are.
To get 300 zombie extras. And then the Zeds, I love the Zeds chasing after Ron and falling off the cliff like you mentioned.
Yes.
And you see them crash onto the rocks below.
Like lemmings.
So cool.
Yeah, they're so dumb.
All the zombies following Daryl was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like that the show, I guess you kind of have to if you do a zombie TV show over several years, but we get episodes like this with big hordes in the daytime, and then we also get smaller nighttime indoors, creepy, and everything in between, you know?
Yep.
So they do a great job of just taking advantage of every possible scenario you could have with zombies. Yep. And then, of course, there was the zombie gumming through the 2 trucks and his skin peeling
ripped off. Ew.
So he doesn't really care.
Yeah, God, it was great. It's like, whatever. Skins for the living.
So yeah, that was my favorite thing about the episode was the spectacle.
Yeah, it was a great spectacle, and plenty of great spectacles too, in fact. All right, so my number 2 is Morgan. How I love Morgan.
He was still good, right? I was afraid that becoming a series regular, he might get boring or something.
Lenny James is mesmerizing to watch. He really, really is. He's such an interesting character, and he's beautifully acted. They've written it well, and he executes it perfectly.
You know, this show has iconic objects for people, like Carl's hat, Michonne's sword, Daryl's vest. Now he has his staff, so he gets to take his place among the pantheon. Which is cool. I love the staff.
I do too. The staff is very samurai and very badass. Do you notice he was polishing it or cleaning it?
Yeah. He just takes it everywhere and polishes it.
And he also has
we'll ever figure out how he got to use it? Learned how to use it?
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
I don't think we ever really figured out why Michonne's a ninja, so
right.
I don't think we will either.
We did get one Michonne flashback.
This episode?
It didn't explain.
Oh,
no,
then, yeah. The
but
dream
it didn't.
thing.
But it really didn't explain much.
Nope. She's talked about, I think, where she found the sword, but I don't think she's talked about how she knows how to flick the blood off like a samurai and stuff like that. Jump up on top of buildings.
Watched a lot of movies. That must be it. Yeah, I love how Morgan is with Rick even from the very start. And he refers to when he saw him last. You know, it's nice because they've got history and they refer to it a little bit. You know, he mentions, you were right, it wasn't over to Rick in the beginning when he's sitting on the porch.
That's about him trying to pull him back from the brink in Clear, right?
Yeah, and I swear to God, when he said that, I get all choked up. It's so great. The depth of this zombie show at times. It's beautiful.
Is interesting. Like I think we are going to get to see what happened to him. I think I read that somewhere.
Oh, good.
Because in Clear, he was out of his mind.
He was.
And a broken man. And some
nervous breakdown,
in between
for sure.
there, now he seems like a wise sage, and he knows how to kick ass with a staff. So I want to know what happened there. I bet you he'll get at least one episode.
People can change. And that's such a hopeful message.
Grace and Mr. Blog get to do his panel in Atlanta.
I can't wait to see it. Maybe they'll I just love Lenny James. He's wonderful. He's a great contrast to Rick. And I think the two of them together is just as good as it gets. And I love the fact that his approach, which is more of a humanitarian approach, may come back to bite him in the ass because, he let those wolves go.
Oh, yeah.
And they may be what's behind the horn that we hear at the end. So.
No, it's Carl, probably.
You think it's Carl just fucking around?
Could be Ron.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, Ron's not that bad. Because Ron would be putting everybody, including himself, in peril.
Well, they made a big point in this episode to show that he's not in good shape.
No, he's not.
And, I mean, I don't want to make light of this, but kids are doing some pretty nasty stuff today sometimes.
Maybe it's Father Gabriel.
Shooting up schools and stuff. Yeah, Father Gabriel. Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
The ultimate douchey thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying...
You think it could be the wolves, yeah.
I'm predicting wolves.
But they said it felt like it came from home, but I guess if the wolves wanted to draw the zombies that direction. Yeah, you're probably right, because they seem to have a handle on how to move the zombies around and stuff.
Yeah. And I say that they're screwing with our people, but they don't know what's coming. By the way, did you notice that Morgan had not only his lucky rabbit's foot, but also the art of peace instead of the art of war on his desk?
Corny.
What? I loved it. I also loved when he held Judith like Altaria.
Yeah,
it was beautiful. And he talked about how explains that he and Rick are meeting for the first time again. Awesome.
Yeah, I think he said again. Because when they met in Clear, that was like,
yes,
there were different people,
right?
And now they're different people again. But it's interesting because they both, you can change in your life, but most people, no matter how much they change, there's some kind of through line there.
Yeah.
And I think this episode was sort of getting at that. How much of you is unchangeable, or at least how much of your humanity is still left? Morgan was observing Rick and saying, I know you. I do know you. And when Rick didn't kill Carter, Morgan was like, that's you. I know that's you.
Yeah.
Because earlier, Morgan had said, you're not the kind of guy who wouldn't bury Pete.
Right.
I know.
He's like, you don't know me.
You don't know me.
Right.
But this
Morgan's
is
like,
whether
no,
you're going to bury a body
you.
or not is different than whether you're going to kill some guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's trying to maybe observe but also encourage, I think, Rick to not
be the man he knows he is.
Exactly.
And I think he's also observing Carol, and I think he's also observing. We saw him observe Carol, which is
that was the best.
Oh my god! I love that she's still in her people person mode.
Yeah.
And
it's great that he saw that he's observant enough to see what she's all about.
Yes.
But it might not be so smart to point it out to her. Like, I'm like, you could be in danger there if you mess with her.
Right. Don't mess with her. No, you know what though? I say that will make her respect him more, because out of everybody,
you think so?
he sees that she's watching everybody.
Well, to me, it looked like she was thinking, why do you know that? Are you seeing through my facade? And then the fact that she kept up the facade, aren't you sweet? Tried to keep it up, made me think she was like, I might kill you if you get out of line.
Is that what you heard? Carol is fairly...
Don't push it, buddy.
She is fairly ruthless. By the way, did you notice when Rick was pitching his plans to the group, she says, oh, it's terrifying, but there really isn't any other way. And did you see how she did that? It was so fabulous with her eyeballs. Yeah. She's wonderful. She's clearly trying to influence the group, and she definitely has Rick's back.
See, I hate that passive-aggressive shit, but I love her character, and watching her, I just don't like people like that.
She's very clever and very sneaky. I could never be like that. I'm my... all of it is right out front.
Or of course, if you were like that, you would be saying that you could never be like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you know what? I probably am like that. I'm just telling you.
Now I don't believe you.
That was my goal.
I don't know what to think. Who are you? I'm meeting you for the first time.
As Michonne says, you always think there's one more peanut butter left.
So what was that all about? That seemed to make him seem a little crazy. Did you steal my protein bar?
She did.
She did steal it.
She did steal it in Clear.
Oh, is that what he was talking about?
That's what he was referring to. I didn't know that, but I read
lied.
She did lie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I get it now. Because I didn't know that, and I thought that she didn't. And I didn't even know if she was talking about the room that he just stayed in, because they just let him out of his cage. And I was like, he seems a little wacky right now.
No, I think he said to her back when you were at that when you were in that place where I lived.
Got it.
Did you take one of my protein bars? And Michonne said no. And he says, see, I could have sworn there was one more peanut butter left. And Michonne says, well, that's how it is, isn't it? You always think there's one more peanut butter left. And
I still don't quite get, like, why did Michonne say that? I don't know.
Well, I think he might have been sort of
feeling
her out. I don't know. That's a good question.
It was funny.
It was funny. It was great. And that may be my new life motto. You always think there's one more peanut butter left.
And sometimes there is.
And sometimes there's not.
Is there another hard apple cider here?
There is.
Sometimes
there's one more hard apple cider left.
No, I don't need it right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I got half of mine left.
Right.
Thank you, though.
It's in my little stay cool baggie.
Nice.
Because that's how I roll, people.
Okay, well, since we're talking about Morgan, why does Morgan need to be locked up?
He doesn't now.
Yeah, but why did he ever?
Well, he came to the group. They're feeling him out.
Because Rick isn't sure he still knows him. Just feeling him out. Okay.
Feel him out.
It just seemed a little, I guess Rick's being a hard ass. And it was kind of a dick for him to go in and say, so who taught you to do that? The way this works is I ask a question and you answer. Or whatever he said. Like, dude, chill out. Jesus Christ.
I'm kind of doing my exercises here, man.
Yeah. Somebody taught me, okay? And then I also noticed they slipped in there that Morgan told them about the walkers with the W's and I guess everything that happened with the wolves and stuff. So, that's obviously an upcoming storyline that they're foreshadowing. Right. Which maybe next episode, one of them will be pushing on an air horn or whatever.
I think so. That's my theory.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm not alone.
That's it?
Yep.
All right. My number 2 is a big one. It's just, like many episodes, this one is a lot about how Rick is handling things.
Yeah.
And, the first thing he says is, this is an insane world. We have to come for them or they come for us. It's that simple. Which made me think of, you're either the butcher or the cattle. But he's talking about the zombies, so he's not talking about regular people.
Right.
Although he did say he doesn't want to go out and save people anymore. But he's definitely gotten more brutal and cutthroat since he last saw Morgan. And I loved that this episode focused on Rick because we get to see someone who knew him a while back and is seeing him now.
Yes.
And didn't get to see how that
transition.
Just like when you see your friend's baby and then next thing you know, they're 5 years old. And you're like, what happened?
Are you the same kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the episode is asking whether the way Rick wants to lead and deal with the Alexandrians is right.
Right.
And I think he does have a point that they need to be trained to deal with the zombies, that they've been lucky so far.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Unless they had some kind of society like Woodbury where you had a class of people to do that, or America, to take care of all the problems, and then you just stay comfortable inside. But I think he's smart in this world to think that they need to be able to handle themselves.
Everybody needs to know. Yeah.
And also, he's right that they need us to deal with those zombies in the quarry. Because if he hadn't found them and done that, then the truck would have fell. Right. And they would have just been on the front doorstep, like they're going to be anyway, but that wasn't his fault. I mean, he tried. Something needed to be done.
He tried.
But
and it almost worked.
Yeah, it almost worked. But the thing that makes me not, Rick, he's right about that stuff, but he's just so, what I'm going to say. He's a little off the handle,
off his
a little
nut.
bit. Yeah.
I mean, Michonne had to clock him on the head in the last episode. I mean, she had to give him a Hollywood knockout. He was ranting.
Carter said, we're supposed to just follow you after you wave a gun around at us and shoot a man in the face.
Which is a good point.
It's a very good point. And Carter, I think, he just genuinely thinks that Rick is a danger. I mean, there have been 3 or 4 people killed in the last 2 weeks since Rick got there. Yep. And I think Carter is a good guy who just wants to help his people.
Right.
Carter should understand that they do need to be trained. But the way Rick does it is like, oh, there's some zombies. Go get them. You can do it.
You can do it.
We'll have a lesson on this at some point, but I figure learn by doing. That's the way I learned.
They were like, fuck.
Yeah. It's like, really? I mean, you should probably teach them some techniques first or something.
I was thinking about that. Like, did they ever have like a zombie defense class?
No, they need to all be out on the grass doing their...
Right. Their ninja skills.
I mean, Shane taught Andrea how to fire a gun before they ever had to... And then she shot Daryl, but you know what I'm saying.
I forgot about that. Oops, sorry.
But with everything that's happened since Rick got there, I don't blame people for not trusting him. And it seems like Morgan and Daryl and Glenn would be much better to at least learn how to deal with this stuff right now because they have level heads. Who would be the best leader? I think Rick probably would be the best leader if Morgan can just chill him out a little bit. But the problem that I've mentioned before about the show is you need constant death or the show can't be on the air because it would be boring.
Right.
And that makes whoever's leading look bad because there's dying going on during this guy's watch.
Right. So exactly. So if you have really great leadership, you make for a very boring show.
Exactly.
Right. Checks and balances, though. I would love them to share the job. Wouldn't that be great? Morgan and Rick being in charge, both. And Carol.
No.
Yeah.
She could be an advisor, I guess.
She's a people person.
Yeah. I think I would rather have Maggie in there.
Or Judith.
If you want to have a woman in there.
Did you hear Judith's little squawk? So cute. All right, are we on mine?
My
number one. My number one is the cliffhanger ending. The plan seems to be working. 20,000 quarry zombies headed down the road, 20 miles down the road. Then the horn goes off. Fuck! Who's making the horn blast? Is it the wolves? Is it a distress call? What the fuck? And I love that Glenn says, it's a horn or something. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I love the Alexandria sign, by the way, that says Alexandria planned community, full of non-zombie people.
But why?
Starting in the low 800s.
Why was it pointing like into the forest? It's like, turn here.
What? Maybe they meant down a spell and on the road. Who knows? But then the helicopter shot, they pull up and then they fade to black and you can still hear the horn after they faded to black. You hear the horn go a couple more blasts. And that was very cool. So I love that ending.
That was a drone. They use drones to film stuff now.
Really?
Yeah, I read.
Oh, and, that makes a lot more sense than a helicopter. Thank you.
Doug's friend has one of those drones, so they'll take it out and go down into people's picnics and film them or go way up over buildings. It's pretty cool. They're very stable. Anyways, I read that that's how they filmed that scene.
Do you know, I don't think I'd be very friendly towards a drone if a drone sort of came up to my backyard and started filming me.
While you were changing?
Yeah. Yeah, I would be very unfriendly.
To.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be some kind of rules about you just see people looking up suspiciously at the
That would be me.
The camera when he does that. Okay, my number one is poor Ron. The kid, Jesse's kid. I just feel so bad for him.
Yes.
The scene you mentioned where he's looking through and hears them talking about how Pete isn't worth being buried there. I mean, we don't know exactly how Ron feels about Pete. Pete may or may not have abused Ron. There's a good chance he did. And yet still, when you find your dad, everybody not having any respect and treating him as a villain in front of you, I'm sure it's got to be rough, on top of the situation with your dad. Then he gets killed and vilified.
Yes.
And the scene where Jesse and Ron and Sam are sitting on the couch, he's looking off and she's holding Sam.
Yeah.
It was so sad.
Very sad.
Yeah. And that was really sad. And I think one of the things that really, I felt like one of the more asshole things I think Rick has ever done, besides passing up that one guy with the orange backpack, was trying over and over again to lecture this kid whose dad he killed. It's like, fuck off, man. Dude, listen to Jesse. She tried to tell him, not you, man, somebody else.
Right.
You killed his father. Back off.
If he thinks he's going to be eventually the stepdad to that kid,
I mean, maybe, but not like forcing yourself into it. Probably never, but not this way for sure.
Ron will never like him. He's the guy. He's the dude who killed his dad.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about it. So I don't know. I may have talked about this on the podcast. I don't know for sure, but I never met my dad, and my mom picked the wrong guys growing up. And I had a couple stepfathers who were abusive, and one really bad. And this guy ended up dead in a ditch about 5 years after my mom finally broke up with him. We heard that, and he was OD'd and beaten.
Wow.
And I didn't feel bad about that. You know, I was only like, I don't know, 10 years old or something when I heard. But I thought, I was thinking today, what if the guy who did that, or whoever did that, came and wanted to be a father figure in my life? I don't think I would welcome that. I might be uncomfortable with it, even though I hated this guy,
Yeah.
I'd be like, just leave me alone.
Yeah. You seem kind of like trouble.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I just feel sorry for that kid. And I hope, if he's the one leaning on that horn, I hope not. But I wouldn't be completely shocked.
It's funny. You're such a great dad to Nico.
Thank you. When everybody's looking. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't seen him in like 3 or 4 days because they went camping this weekend. I'm going to see him tonight for the first time.
Yay!
Yeah, I miss him.
So great. It's so fun when loved ones come home and you miss them so much. Especially a little kid like that, and you can just hug the stuffing out of them. I just love that. Okay, notes.
Go ahead.
I have a couple. One is Zombie Kill of the Week. Zombie Kill of the Week. We should have a sounder for Zombie Kill of the Week.
Ow.
Thanks. Ow.
Here's Zombie Kill of the Week.
If I had to pick, there's so many to choose from. There's some good ones. The zombie falling into the quarry through Morgan's binoculars, or maybe it wasn't through his binoculars, but zombies falling in the quarry were fabulous. You mentioned that earlier. But I just laughed out loud. It was just a quick little moment. It was when Sasha and Abraham are driving in the car and they do a drive-by shooting of a Zed. They're just zipping on by and they pop a Zed on the road.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just it's just really fun. Yeah, it's in the beginning. It's just really fun.
Or when he's running around like, woohoo.
Yeah. He was having a good time.
I'd pick the cliff. That shot was so great.
Yes.
Yeah. They kind of killed themselves too, so that's cool. Yeah,
they're a twofer. That's pretty nice. Also, I love the moments between Maggie and Tara. Yeah,
and how that talk that Maggie had with her.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very nice. And Carl, did you notice Carl was in the episode, but only for like the briefest of moments?
He held hands with Enid.
He did,
and he was pressing on the horn at the end.
because maybe he got to second base with Enid.
Yeah, they were like smashed up against the car horn. It'd be funny if it was going wah 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 wah. Carl, damn it! Carl, get out of that car!
Oh. Another funny moment that I like.